up? Are we live? I think we are. I'm told we are. All right. Welcome, everybody, to CRL. This is Chart Request Live. Not your usual crew of Patrick and Steve. Spencer and Ian instead. Mr. Ian Coley, what's going on?
Excellent. How are we doing?
Fantastic. Fantastic. So if you guys don't know the drill by now, very simple, straightforward. You have a request, you have a ticker, either email us, questions at stockmarketmedia.com, or drop your question in the chat. We will do our best to cover them all. Ian, shall we start?
Yeah, let's get to it.
Okay. From the inbox, where we usually start first, let's go to this request from Wavy, who was asking about, as I'm on my laptop, so bear with me, BLX for the rest of the year. That's Wavy's time horizon. BLX for the rest of the year.
For the rest of the year. All right, here we got zoom out a little bit here on a weekly chart. For the rest of the year, I mean, you know, it's broken out. Chart looks great. New weekly closing high last week. You know, 5-6 year high. You know, it's already pretty new highs this week. You know, there's a couple areas of potential resistance up ahead. You know, I would want to watch out here up around this shelf of former highs going back to 2016, 2017, and early 2018, around 30 and a half. And then those 2015 and 2014 highs up around 35. So there's some logical areas of resistance there for BLX. And then after that, you gotta zoom all the way out to the late 90s.
No, thank you.
Yeah, early 01 to find some areas. Again, like 36 and a half, 37, up around these pivot highs from June 01, and then all the way back up here around 58, 59, those former all-time highs. Yeah, up around 58. So
do you know what stock this is? Probably not.
It's a Latin American bank. That's my guess. Let's take a look here.
Very good. Banco Latinoamericano de Comercio Exterior.
Here we go.
There we go. Wavy always coming at us with
Just
from the top rope with something crazy.
just shy of $1 billion market cap.
That's
Great
okay.
looking chart.
All right. What about for Saul? Saul's asking about Track, TRAK. They had earnings. Oh no, that was 2 weeks ago. Never mind.
So it's a technology services. So it's packaged software. Looking at, well, this is a small company. Sure, Saul's aware of this. Just under $300 million in market cap. You know, we're seeing a lot of speculative growth catch a bid today. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no particular area. It's a broad rally for speculative growth today. Yesterday as well. Look at that stick. Is it up 20, almost 21% yesterday? But it's nearing a logical level of resistance. Look at these former highs from 2014, 2015, 2016. You know, I think, you know, it's broken above that $15 level. Maybe it slows down up here around 16 and a half. If not, I mean, we're looking at new all-time highs. Let's throw on an extension here.
I would just say this is a low floater, 11.6 million shares in the float of this thing. So very easy to manipulate and to push around, which can make for some funky price action. So just keep an eye out for that. Small stock, small float, funky moves.
You know, I think if it breaks above 17, I mean, we can look at 25 and a half. I think it really starts to rip. You know, if this speculative growth across the board continues to catch a bid, this thing go all the way up to 40.
All right.
But yeah, watch for these levels.
Here's another crazy one. This is GOTU, GOTU. This thing is up like 30% today on there.
Oh.
This is a random Chinese. I think it's Chinese education. I want to say.
Okay. This is right up Steve's alley. Steve loves those education stocks.
I know. Anyway, crazy stock, making a crazy move today. What was the question from Andrew? Andrew, okay. Obviously, we can't tell you what to do, but we will give our opinion. Here is the question from Andrew.
What happened to
GOTU.
those?
He entered yesterday and he wants some advice on an exit target on the upside, obviously,
Okay.
or holding. We can't tell you whether to hold or to sell, but we can give you a target or two.
Yeah, I can give you some logical levels of potential resistance, an area where the trend might slow down. You might want to lighten your position, but that really comes down to your own personal style. And it really, that varies from trader to trader. Let's look at a couple levels here real quick. Take a Fibonacci retracement here. Maybe all the way up towards 57. That's pretty high, getting all the way up to that 3.82 retracement, 38% retracement. I would prefer to look at this shelf of lows down here. Highlight it here, right around here. We're looking at 30, right? Can even call it, let's call it 27. I think getting back up towards 27, you can see, as GOTU really started to break down and that downtrend really picked up in the spring of 2021, it paused. It paused briefly right around this 27 level before really just falling apart and bottoming in October of 2022. Most stocks bottomed. So it's a great looking chart. Buyers have pushed price well above this resistance level around 5.5. I think we get back up to 27. Things will definitely start to cool down. But we'll
All right.
see.
And then,
You never know. This thing could rip right into new
yeah,
all-time highs. But
again,
logical level to feed the ducks. And
trade with caution on these names. They're high flyers. They can do some, it's China, crazy stuff. And then let's do SMFG. This is one of those Japanese banks that Berkshire Hathaway bought about 3.5 years ago. So they're getting a lot of Buffett love, especially this week after he wrote a little bit about it in his letter.
I
But
think it's just great that we're seeing Chinese stocks catch a bit. There are some Chinese stocks that are working.
SMFG is Japanese.
Yeah, I know. But I was looking at the GOTU. I was
Okay,
looking at
okay, okay,
GOTU.
okay. Yeah.
Japanese, but the Nikkei just hit a new all-time high.
Mhm.
Finally broke above, was it those 98 highs? Japanese stocks look great. As does this. What was it? Let's see, oh 08. Wow. 16-year highs
Yeah,
for SMFG.
pretty remarkable, right?
Remarkable. And then, we're looking at a weekly chart here. So let's zoom in a little bit. Mm-mm-mm. What a great looking chart. Yeah, I think as long as it's above 10.5, you got to be long. And if you wanted to jam your stops, and if you wanted to look for a nice tight area to get out, I think around $9. You give it a little room, eight and three quarters. But if SMFG is breaking back below that level, it's back in the box. We got a potential failed breakout in our hands. That's something I wouldn't want to own. Now from the long side, because this
1050.
breakout is still intact, let's look at some potential areas of resistance. Keyword potential. Show off a former lows here from '07, kind of where SMFG paused during the great financial crisis around 1285, call 13. This is a logical level to see some selling pressure come in. But if we take an extension, let's see what other levels we get here.
Same thing.
Yeah,
Same
I love
thing.
it. I love it. I love it when it works that way.
See, I
Um,
don't understand Fibonacci in the slightest bit, but I've seen it enough times to not question it, right? I don't
yeah,
know
it
why.
works. That's the thing. It works.
I don't know why it works, but it seems to work a lot. I couldn't tell you why.
We find that golden ratio throughout nature. And it's just it's pleasing to the eye, and that's why I love it on the charts. And it's just so it just feels so good when price is reacting to those levels, and when price does react to the Fibonacci levels again and again during an uptrend, it adds conviction to those levels above. So
Yep.
I like this. Like I said, 13, 14 and a half. It's a zone. That's an area we could see some selling come in. And then above there, we're looking at 20,
All right,
26, and then new all-time highs.
let's go to the chat. Sambo 161.8, also a fan of the Fibonacci sequence, is asking. I don't know if he knew you were going to be on today, Ian, but he's asking about cocoa futures, which
Cocoa futures.
maybe don't give away the farm because we are going to be recording on What the Fic on cocoa later on in the week. But this is definitely a first for this show. Somebody asking about cocoa futures, but you're asking the right guy, Sambo.
I like it. I like it. Thanks, Sambo. Um, yeah, cocoa futures ripping to new all-time highs. People want to know if we're in a commodity super cycle. I think this tells us we are. Data going back only to 1980, but in 77, I believe the high was up around 55 and change, 53 and change. So rip through those former highs. Now, when it comes to using Fibonacci analysis on cocoa futures and trying to nail down a potential extension, I've used a number of different levels and a number of different swings uh, uh, to measure against. Let's see here. I'm trying to find slow position. Here we go. Still need to use in the trading view. I do like trading view. Do you use trading view, Spencer?
Yeah, I use several different services, charting softwares. TradingView is one of them that I use. Yeah.
Hey, shout out to TradingView. Like I haven't been using it that often. I mainly use Optima. That's where I do most of my work. But just throughout the day to be able to monitor, you know, the multiple markets, and just the ease and speed of being able to flip through ratio charts. It's awesome.
If
I
I
love it.
want to do anything other than just look at a basic chart, I use TradingView. Like if I want to mark it up, I want to add this or that, the other thing, or I use TradingView for all that stuff.
Yeah. Here we go. Cocoa futures. This is a continuation chart. I'm measuring from the 2011 high. Now this is when commodities peaked during the last commodity super cycle. Gold peaked in 2011. A number of commodities peaked in 2011. I'm measuring that swing from that 2011 high down to that 2017 low. All right. So using that, around 7,000, around 7 up here, right? That seems like a logical level. But if you notice, sure, Cocoa paused up around, those former 2011 highs. But since then, it's just been absolutely ripping. So, who knows? We'll see. It could rip right through this 261 and head higher to the 423. See, I don't know what's up with this level. I don't know why this level's here. I would not normally use this level. I'm gonna take that out. There we go. All right. Much better. Much better. Any other charts in the chat or any questions?
Yeah, we got a few more here. Abraham is asking about Mara,
Ooh.
which if it's doing anything close to what Bitcoin or Coinbase are doing today, then I'm sure it's having itself quite a week. Having not looked myself, I can't say for sure, but I can venture a guess.
Here we go. It is. It is having a good week. Broke out. I think, we can look at, I'm going to move down to a daily.
Yes, this is a little bit too.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Let's just zoom in. looking at the past few years here, I think we can look at this as a nice reversal pattern, nice little base here. Below this 18 level. Let's call it 20. Between 18 and 19 and a half, around 20. You broke out, got the retest earlier this year. Buyer stepped in, drove prices higher. And now we're hitting a new multi-year high, challenging those former highs from the spring of 2022. Now let's see if it can finally break above this level. Now it tried at the end of last year, but then sold off with earlier in January when many risk assets started to turn lower. Dollar started to catch higher. No coincidence there. That relationship is still intact. I think
the thing about Mara is it's true for all crypto, right? Is when the trade is off, it is off in a hurry.
Yeah,
you gotta watch this thing.
Right. So looking at Mara, yeah, you could you can hold it above 19. You can hold it above these lows all the way down here around 14 and a half, those pivot lows from January. I think we could play this one tight. Right. I think if you want, again, this is just, showing you different ways to be able to, or different areas, technical areas on a chart where you can define your risk and a potential stop. And I think, below these pivot lows from earlier in the month around, 22 and a quarter is a logical level as well. It just depends on how much room you want to give Mara to dance, and like you said, Spencer, these stocks, I mean, they really nosedive when they get going.
I've had situations where I got out before the nosedive, and situations where I got out mid nosedive, right? And you're like, oh my goodness, right? So you got to pay attention.
So while we're on Mara, let's look at a couple other miners real quick. If there are any other request, let's look at Riot.
Let's look at Riot. Yeah.
Yeah. Mara's up what? 2% right now?
Sure. I don't know.
Okay. Let's see what Riot's doing right now.
Same thing.
Down.
No?
Down.
Well, that's unusual.
Down almost 5%. Okay, so we're seeing some relative strength in Mara. That's something we want to keep in mind. And these very, very similar pattern here over the past couple months. But see, Riot has yet to break above the shelf of former highs, right? Mara, on the other hand, already printing new highs. Almost, yeah, already printing new highs. Struggling to hold above the close from, what was this, again, late last year, but it's working on it. So, this relative strength in Mara. What's another one? Hut 8?
Hut 8 is one.
Let's look at Hut 8. Hut 8 down. And it's midday, right? It's midday. We still have a few more hours. These things can turn around, but it's just interesting to notice the relative strength in Mara right now.
Hey, let's go back to the chat here. Brad's asking about KVYO. This is one of those IPOs from last fall. So we only have about 4 months worth of data here. But yeah, Klaviyo, right?
Klaviyo. Yeah. What is Klaviyo? What are we looking at here?
It's a tech. I'm not sure. Software, I think.
$7.5 billion.
Software as a service.
Email marketing platform. Klaviyo. Let's see. Deal on earnings. All right. Okay. So it's carving out a base. It's carving out a base here. We have a down trend line that has been violated. Trend line was violated earlier this month. Now, excuse me. Just because a trend line's violated, it's not a signal. That's not a buyer sell signal. It's just a heads up that a potential reversal is underway. In this case, a potential bullish reversal. Right? So we got the trend line break, momentum hit overbought. which is another sign of a potential bullish reversal underway. But buyers need to take out the shelf of former highs, right? Going back to last, last fall. Move that out of the way. And this is what we're looking at. Right around here. So high from November 7th, got the high from December, early December, December 4th. And look at that long wick. Look at that long wick.
Also, what I would keep in mind is, let me look this up right now. What was the IPO price? Because that's probably relevant here. IPO price at $30, and we open at $36.75.
$36.75. Yep. So the low of that day, the low of that day is roughly the IPO price. And, trading
IPO prices still have they have relevancy when you're still within that 6 month post IPO window, because there's people that are locked up that can't sell, right? So even if they wanted to, so keep an eye on that.
But looking at price, solely the chart here, this long upper wick here on from February 12th, I mean, that just speaks to buyers driving price intraday up to this level of significant oversupply, sellers stepping in and driving prices lower. So, got to see price above 33. If and when, buyers can reclaim that level or take that level out, it's above 33. I think we're catching higher. And where's the logical level to take profits or begin to feed the ducks? Let's see here. Let's see. 38.50? 38.50 initial target?
Sure.
Let's see. Secondary objective up around, 47.5. It makes sense to me. Getting back up towards 38.5, we're up to, the highs of, its IPO. So I think that's a significant level, up there, above there, printing new all-time highs, and, sky's the limit.
Let's see. We got time for a couple more here, Ian. Let's take a look at KB Homes. Will the other home builders follow Toll Brothers higher? Kevin wants to know. Well, my crystal ball's in the shop, but Ian's might be working. So let's take a look.
I like the chart. I like the chart.
Looks to me like it is going higher.
Yeah, it's definitely going higher. I mean, isn't it a new all-time high?
That can't be. That can't be.
Did it print a new all-time high today? Hold on, let me zoom out here. Yeah. No.
It can't be.
No. Close. We're getting close.
Are we? No, we're not. Well,
$20 away.
I guess it depends how you define close. Yeah, all right. We're on our way. We're on our way there, surely. Yeah.
I mean, zooming out, looking at this is a massive base. Massive base. We were talking about lumber yesterday. I mean, digging in and finding, support at a shelf of resistance that went back, almost 3 decades. So to see lumber, constructively find support and, carve out a near-term base, that's constructive for KB Homes and just a home builder space in general. So, lumber starts catching higher. I imagine this, we could be right back up towards these former all-time highs. Zooming in, getting a little more tactical on KB Homes. Let's see here. I like looking at this base. Let's exclude the action from 2020 and just look at this level here. right around 53, 54. Let's call it 55. You know, multi-year base. You know, kind of looks like a cup and a handle. Yes, I'm not too familiar with the cup and handle pattern. I know it's very popular out there, but I see a base breakout above 55, a little gap higher here towards the end of last year, and then another short 8 week plus consolidation. A breakout above, a close above 64. I think would be very constructive and will likely kick off that next leg higher for KB Homes.
All right. I got to hop, so let's do one more, Ian,
Okay.
and let's take a look at. Okay. Josh goes, since Ian's our commodities guy, how about AMR after those earnings? So let's look at
Oh
AMR.
my goodness. What is the deal with AMR?
Well, I can only guess.
New highs.
If I had to guess, I would say new highs, but I don't know.
Absolutely ripping.
I
Alpha
haven't seen it.
Metallurgical Resources
Yeah.
gapped higher yesterday. It's a new all-time high for AMR. Um, let's draw a fib from this level.
What can you say
Consolidation.
about that? There's nothing to say.
What do you mean there's nothing to say? Let's look at some levels. Look at some levels.
All right. All right.
We've been talking a lot about coal. We've been talking a lot about uranium. Look at that. Look at that. What do you know? Finding resistance at a logical level here. This extension level around 450. What was the high today? 452. Intraday high was 452. This is a real quick and dirty Fibonacci, measuring this Fibonacci, this extension, and we're right there at 450. So, again, logical level, it's pausing today. That doesn't mean, it can't just rip right through this level onward to the next. But yeah, what a great looking chart. This thing's been an absolute beast. I think, the story moving forward is, are we gonna see oil and gas start to catch higher and join the party that uranium and coal have been enjoying? It looks like it. We're seeing a lot of new all-time highs in the oil refiners. Crack ETF breaking out. But yeah, we're keeping an eye on oil and gas right now. And if you're long AMR, I mean,
Congratulations.
if you want to feed the ducks here, you can. If you want to hold it, it depends. It just all depends on when you got in and what your strategy is.
Yeah. All right, Ian, thanks a lot for subbing in today. We appreciate
absolutely.
it. We'll be back on Thursday with Patrick Donawilla, same time, 1 o'clock. Any questions, comments, concerns, requests, email us in the inbox, questions@stockmarketmedia.com. Thanks for everyone in the chat for hanging out and for all the questions we got there. We'll see you guys Thursday. Have a good one.
Thanks for watching.